the last couple of days, as Michael mentioned, I was talking about these apprentices, Bill Belichick struggling apprentices. If you really think about it, Nora, okay, so Matt Patricia having a hard time in Detroit. Bill O'Brien started off 0-4, so he's got his problems. Joe Judge, bad team right now with the Giants, and then Brian Flores is 1-3. I'm just looking at the current guys right there. Those four guys, at Cliff Kingsbury, I don't know. But just focusing on Patricia, Flores, Judge, and O'Brien, is there any common denominator besides working for Bill Belichick, or is it just a coincidence that all of these guys are struggling, in your opinion?
Well, there's a common denominator with O'Brien, Patricia, and I think it's a little unfair to say with Judge because it's incredibly early, but the common denominator there is that they've had a lot of conflicts with their players. And I wonder if, one of the things that I think is hypothesized about why those Belichick apprentices end up struggling is that they don't know how to be themselves, or they feel like they need to be sort of a carbon copy of Bill and carry with them some of the rigid adherence to discipline and, for lack of a better word, can I curse on this show?
Yeah, go ahead, cuss it out.
Hardassery. Like, that's the best way to put it, I think.
That's not cussing.
All right, it is for me. I try and keep it clean. But I mean, Glover Quinn's on Instagram saying, you didn't inherit a bad team. What are you talking about that you think you have work to do in Detroit? You could, Darius Slay, you could go down a list of guys that either have still been there or have left and have either openly feuded with the coach or just had not nice things to say. And it seems like that happened. I mean, it certainly happened with DeAndre Hopkins in Houston, where they just get in these fights with players. And it seems to come from sort of being stubborn and my way or the highway. So I think that might be a part of it. And whether that's just sort of part of those guys' personalities, or maybe it's something about coming from New England where there is such a culture and feeling very strongly about wanting to instill your own, but not necessarily having the track record where players will fall in line as easily. That ecosystem, I think, can be very tough to navigate for some of those guys. But I also think that they, I think Patricia's certainly culpable in egging on those fights. And it's funny, when we were doing the Ringers NFL show on Sunday, we were kind of joking about how, the best thing, it's like a miracle that he hasn't gotten in a feud with Matt Stafford, is the way it seems like things going. So I don't think that that's across the board. I doubt Flores will do that. It doesn't seem like I guess they've shipped out some guys that they didn't see as culture guys, but those three, I think that's a common denominator. I don't know that goes for all of them, though.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.